Hello, welcome back to Soul Spa University, where we talk all amazing things that your soul is going to want to hear. Okay. My co-host, Tommy, today has an amazing story that's going to surprise me today, which is amazing because the past two stories I've surprised him with, he completely slaughtered. So I'm glad I picked the topic of parallel universes because he's going to tell me today about a parallel universe story, and I could not be more excited as I finally start consuming this liquid of an amazing day today. Go ahead, Tommy. I am amped. And guys, if you want to keep supporting our channel, please hit like and subscribe. And we also have a Instagram, Soul Spa University. We would love to have you on there. Yeah. Hey, Tommy, what's up? What's the story about?
Well, hello, everyone. Enjoy your drink, Kristina. This is a story about James Richards. This was back in 2009, and James was driving back from Turlock, California, to Livermore. I don't know, I'm from New York. Anyway, he was driving back with his dog, and during the trip, his dog was whining and everything, and so he stopped over to let it go out to go to the pee. Excuse me, sorry, that's my coffee machine beeping like crazy.
We are live. Go ahead.
And so anyway, he gets out and he opens the door for the dog to let him out. So the dog bolts. It sees a rabbit or something. He thinks it's a rabbit. And the dog just bolts and he goes running after it. And after a little bit, he trips and hits his head, knocking him out. So I guess he was out for a little bit because when he woke up, it was towards dusk. And when he woke, he said he was next to a strange machine and that there was a man there who called himself Jonas. So Jonas explained to him, he's like, listen, I'm working in this area, and I saw you unconscious. And when he asked him, he's like, what is this thing? And he goes, oh, I work for an interdimensional agency that goes and scouts other dimensions for public travel for like a vacation. So he's like, what? And so he thought he was like being joked upon. Like he was like, this is not. But the guy was like, yeah, no, this is actually real, and I took you back into my dimension. Didn't explain why though. That's the only problem that I have with it. It's like, well, there's a few, but he goes, didn't explain why he took him into his dimension, but he decided to talk to him and ask him just a ton of different questions about like all of this. He asked him about politics, religion, world events, everything, just to see what the hell is different. And he found that most things were actually pretty much the same, except for one that was huge. In our world, back in 1970, I want to say 1972, 1973, something like that, the Beatles had broken up. And James was a huge Beatles fan. And in that dimension, nope, they were still together. All of them were alive, and they were still making, they're just like the Rolling Stones, except bigger. So he decided to steal a cassette of the Beatles, and that cassette was called Everyday Chemistry.
You do know that we cover, if you know this is not a real story, we can't air it, right?
Well, no, here's the thing. He stole a cassette tape of the album called Everyday Chemistry with 11 songs on it that we've never heard.
Okay, I thought this was that movie. Do you know what I'm talking about? They made a whole movie based on exactly what you're saying.
Oh, that whatever stars thing nonsense. No. So he got 11. It was 11 songs he uploaded online, and you could still actually find it at thebeatlesneverbroakeup.com. And these songs are not the Beatles that we have here. Like they sound exactly like the Beatles,
Hmm.
but it's not any songs we've ever heard of. So that's the last, that before he was returned back to his this universe, he grabbed that so that he could have his proof.
Um, all right, well, that is interesting. My apologies for jumping the gun. I am still drinking my Angerade from some podcast prior to this.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, I mean, there was no, people have asked him if you've encountered this Jonas again or anything, and he said no. And it was a one-time thing. And right now, it's up in the air. I don't know if they authenticated to see if it's, he's lying or anything, but you can still listen to those songs online.
That is amazing because that actually has like proof.
Mhm.
Oh damn, there goes my opportunity. I was gonna say after you say a whole story, like a lot of silence, and that's a shit story, Tom, because that's what you did to me. The last two, which were Dane Cook and me helping the TikTok people. Okay, but whatever. I'm doing what's right for the world. Anyway. My feathers
But
ruffled.
that's the main meat of the James saga.
Okay, so just to reiterate for the audience, let me try to translate that in less words and see if I have it right. So if I have this right, let me know.
Mhm.
Okay, some dude, and I know I'm going to get details wrong, but you're saying some dude is driving, and then something happened where his dog ran into the forest or something, and he went chasing after him. He tripped, bumped his head, then woke up, and there was some guy that was like, hey, next to a machine, like, oh, don't worry about that machine because I work for interdimensional galactic, etc., and we take people throughout the dimensions for vacation. And he was like, oh yeah, no, that's cool, that's cool, even though he probably didn't mean that at all, but what are you supposed to do at that moment? And then he somehow discovered that in that dimension, the Beatles never broke up and kept making music. And as proof, he took a cassette back to this dimension. Now I'm confused as to why they still have cassettes in that dimension, because that is an old dimension to like have cassettes, no?
No, I agree. This was back in 2009, but even that was, it was CD time. But it's a different dimension. We don't know what the hell they were up to.
2009 here or there?
2009 here.
Uh-huh.
So it could have been 1984 back in the other place.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. And like, did he say anything about the transport back to here?
That's the problem. He didn't really specify much of anything. They got in the machine. It was like nothing at all, a few lights, and then he was here. And then the guy just opened the doors, like, "All right, you're back."
No way.
It's like there's no like crazy nonsense. Like, yeah, I would expect like insane like tremors or anything, but no.
Well, I would hope not. Now, did he have a way to keep in contact with Interdimensional Guide?
Nope. That was that. Dropped him off. The guy got back in the ship, and that was that. He was gone.
Guy looked like a human, the Interdimensional Guide?
Yes. Yes.
Anything different about him?
No, he was dressed. He said he was dressed like he just got out of the office. Like he was, you're all nice but when you get out, basically roll up your sleeves a little bit just to get a little freaking air. But he said he's just dressed like that, but nothing crazy. He looked like a normal person.
That's interesting. Office wear instead of like flying a plane wear or something.
But yeah, I mean, this was actually a pretty good story. Like I said, just like you, I'm wondering, I'm like, why'd you get a cassette? And just the Beatles, it's like, okay, yeah, great. The Beatles are together again in another dimension. But maybe find some more stuff. But it did specify that he stole this. He didn't ask for it or anything. He stole it just to show proof. And I guess he wasn't supposed to show proof.
Oh, so he stole it, he wasn't supposed to take it.
No, because this is not something that's supposed to be readily known.
Okay. Okay, now did it say what year the interdimensional guy is from?
No.
Damn. Just thinking if I have any more questions for this, because this is
But if it's interdimensional, like the parallel universe stuff, it would be 2009 there as well. If you follow the ridiculous amounts of theories that they have, it's just maybe they didn't really get the technology we had until later, and the one technology they did have is traveling through dimensions, and it's like, who knows?
Oh, that's interesting. So what he's saying, guys, is that it's not not necessarily a time traveler experience where you would go to 1809 or 2027. In this story, it could be very possible that it is 2009, but in a different dimension. However, who knows in that dimension? If there is a 2009, I don't know. I mean, there's so many, you're right, so many ways to open your mind on this.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is James Richards. So
it's a wonderful
thank you
story.
for not, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but thank you for not shitting on it.
Ew, that was really gross. Because that's so gross, I have to get off this podcast now. But before that, it was a wonderful podcast. It was a wonderful story. I was about to give you tons of credit. I will hold back at this point. Guys, please like and subscribe. And please find us on Instagram, Soul Spa University. As well as please share in your comments below any sort of profound experience, anything regarding this, anything regarding any other story that does not involve shit, and all sorts of things. So yeah, we're gonna have so many more videos on this exact genre. And like I said, we do not, if you did not see from my live little spitouts before, we do not post anything fake. And if we find out it's fake, we will expose it, not for the harm of anybody else, but for the integrity of the journalism on this channel that wants to expand minds, but with integrity. So yes, thank you all for joining us so much. Do you have anything more to say on this, Tommy?
Well, no, but thank you for watching. If you want to get in touch with Kristina and maybe have a session with her, you can find her at
soulspauniversity@gmail.com. And if you'd like to donate to our channel, there's a link in the description box below.
Yes.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.